The team from EtherMobs joined me on this podcast episode to talk all about their project, their CNFT project that they're delivering to the Cardano ecosystem. It's pretty cool. I really like it. I absolutely love the artwork. Kamix talks all about it and also his live drawing sessions that he does on their Discord channel. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. If you've ever been interested in drawing or learning how to draw, it's probably somewhere you actually really want to be. Now, I did do this podcast interview back in November and I had all sorts of issues trying to get this one out, from audio syncing and all sorts of things, but I managed to get through it and work it out. Apologies to the team for getting it out so late. The minting for this project has also closed, but you can get something from it on secondary marketplaces, and they do have a secondary launch coming up very soon as well. So please check that out on their Discord channel, check it out on their Twitter account as well. All right, let's get into this interview.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast.
Kamix and Blu, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast.
How's it going?
Thank you so much.
Absolutely awesome to have you guys here, especially on projects that I like and actually really want to get into. Now, first off, before we get into anything about EtherMobs, can you tell us a little bit about your backgrounds of how you got into crypto and then how you've discovered Cardano? Kamix, do you want to start first?
Sure, I will start. So to start with, I didn't know. I heard about crypto back in 2013, I guess 2013. When the Bitcoin started to raise and stuff, people was talking about it, but I wasn't that interested in it, to be honest. But lately, about some months ago, maybe, I don't know, 4 months, some friends came to me and told me about that game. I don't know if you know about Axie Infinity.
Yes.
They told me that it's a game where you can invest some cash and it pays you back by playing, and it has scholarships and stuff. So I started working in that. I started investing some money in it, some crypto. I did get some crypto. I don't know if you know Binance, because it's the only website that works in my country. I used it and started working on Axie, and that game made me more familiar with the NFTs concepts and stuff. So I started to learn more about NFTs. Then I heard about people, because I'm an artist. As my job, I'm a freelance artist. Many of people came to me asking if I can create art for them, so create some collections for them, so they can sell them as NFTs. So that kind of projects, I received a lot of projects in about a week. I don't know. It was crazy. It was like four invitations to interviews in each week. So I thought to myself, this might be something really worth it, since everyone is asking for it. So I thought to myself, why wouldn't I create a project of my own that is an NFT project? So I took the chance and started working on the EtherMobs, and that's how I kind of started working on the EtherMobs. And Cardano, as I told you before, it was Sol who told me that I should join it. And by the time when I was developing the projects on Twitter, I was learning more and more about the Cardano blockchain.
That's absolutely brilliant. And whereabouts are you based?
Morocco. I don't know if you know that country.
Oh, I sure do.
Thank you. Glad
Still
you
one
do.
country I haven't managed to get to yet, but it is definitely on my list. My partner's been. She spent a couple of trips over there already, so I've got some catching up to do.
Sure.
And Blu, what about yourself? How did you get into your crypto? What's your crypto journey, and how did you get into Cardano?
Well, I had heard about Bitcoin back during the Silk Road stuff, and kind of just always thought it was just Silk Road kind of stuff until about 2017. I had a bunch of friends making money hand over fist in the ICO booms and all that. And so decided to give it a try and lost money hand over fist when it all came crashing down and completely walked away. It was like, oh, I'm done with that garbage. And came across a podcast and decided I was going to do it a little different this time. I'm not a day trader. I know I'm not a day trader now. Don't want to pretend to be a day trader. So I try to invest in more of the longs, and came across Cardano, kind of really was looking into it for quite a few months, and got back into it. It's been just over a year now. And then NFTs were the same way. No, NFTs are stupid. NFTs came to Cardano, and suddenly I loved them. And kind of the maxi in me, I guess. But yeah, then that's kind of my short version of how I got into it. There was a lot of heartache, tears, and crying along the way, but we're here now.
Sounds very similar to my own story, but let's not get into that. So Kamix, you're the brainchild behind all this. You're the creative. You're the person that came up with EtherMobs. What's your artistic background? Like, what do you do as your day job, and how did you start your career as an artist to get to where you are at the moment?
I didn't study in art school, something like that. I was studying computer science on the university, and I'm still in it. I'm just not going right now. I'm focusing more on arts lately. I started learning arts fundamentals when I turned 18 years old, because since I was a kid, since I was 7 years old, I always wanted to draw something. I was drawing. It was creative, but not that good, to be honest. So I was trying to improve my skill by the time, and I started to do commissions for people, and after a little while, I can't remember how fast it did evolve into an art career, because after it started by just doing commissions for people, just draw illustration here and there, and then it evolved into creating storyboards and comics for people, and that's kind of how it is. I'm a freelance comic artist. I still do create them, even while focusing on my project right now.
That's really cool. And then with the creation of EtherMobs, what was the idea behind that? Like, what I read through the website, I read the lore story, and I think it's a little bit of a jab to Ethereum, maybe, but we'll get into that. But where did the idea and concept come from? And the art style I absolutely love. It actually reminds me of a game I used to play in the 80s. Late 80s, early 90s. I can't remember what it was called though, but it's a very, very similar style, and just like brings back memories from that era. You know, it's going to bug me for a long time, but when I remember it, I'll put a screenshot over this interview. So yeah, when I do the edit, I can actually bring it up, but I just can't remember. It's really frustrating me. So where did the art style come from? Is this your general style, or is it something you came up with specifically for EtherMobs? And what's the background story of the collection?
I had some collection of artists that I loved. I loved to imitate and to draw like them. And by the time I kind of developed my own style, so the EtherMobs are kind of like my own style, and just added some neon lights to them, and some futuristic stuff, because to be honest, it's my first time drawing something futuristic. My work is based on medieval stuff and fancy artworks. I never did something sci-fi or like that. So it's kind of like my first time drawing it, and it's in that way it's kind of became like it became its own. It's adopted its own art style. About the what should I say about the lore? You know that Etervania was a fallen kingdom or a fallen city. As Ethereum, I don't know. The reason behind the fall of Etervania is kind of like the reason how the gas fee on Ethereum is eating on anyone else's wallet. So if you did read the lore, you know that in Ethereum people were at first they had the power of the Ether that they used to create stuff. It's kind of like in the real blockchain, you can create NFTs on Ethereum, and the overuse of that creation of NFTs and the transactions, the fee kind of got bigger and bigger, and it became like too much. So, and the lore, the overuse of the Ether made that power absorbing life instead of giving it. So it's kind of like how it is right now. I don't know if if Ethereum 2.0 will fix that, but if it fixes, it will be an update on the comic where the Etervania has risen again. So,
yeah, I don't know about that. but I love the story parallels and how you pulled in the how Ethereum's gas fees are eating away at the life force of the kingdom, and they had to find a new kingdom and move away to it to prosper again. So I absolutely love that kind of take and dig at Ethereum's gas fees.
Sure, thank you. Well, there are a lot of references from the real blockchains on the comics. Like, for example, the concept of the burning. So it's kind of like when an NFT is burned, that NFT will not be deleted from the blockchain. That NFT will just stay in a static in a certain place and will never move from that. That's how NFT how that's the burning concept of the burn and the blockchain works. So in the comic, I tried. I will make the characters not able to die, but if they die, that means that they get burned. They will kind of become like a statue that won't move again. That a statue, if for example they died in the middle of the road, they will become a statue, and that statue can never be moved from that place. Like how the burn concept in the real blockchain. So that's one of many concepts that I included in the comic that will be soon coming up.
That is really cool. It's kind of interesting that in our own everyday life, when someone dies, they get buried and I guess out of sight, out of mind. And this is very different. When they die, they actually are still in the character's space. So it's a very different way of presenting death in your comic series. So it sounds like the comic book series, the storyline is developing and it's going to be quite interesting. How is it going to be produced, and how is it going to be delivered?
We at first are going to make the digital version. Well, the digital version will be available for free for everybody, but at first there will be like an early access only the mobs holders will get to see the comics before anyone else, and then there will be a physical version that will be put to sale, so anyone who wants to collect it can have it.
Yeah, very cool. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking that you might make the EtherMob token holders, NFT holders, be the ones that get access to the comic or something like that. So you have to hold a EtherMobs NFT to be able to access the comic, or even read the comic online. So that'd be a pretty cool concept too.
Yeah, the NFT holders wants get only the early access of the comic. I don't know if you know about that, but the comic will each issue will have a page, kind of special page. That page will have will be animated and will be created as an NFT. So and it will be minted only, I don't know, a limited amount, and the holders of the NFTs can get the airdrop of that animated page.
And I'm sure you have some more ideas up your sleeve as you brainstorm these things with the community and work out what else you might want to do with it.
So there's a lot of storyline. Holders have a lot of say in that, or will have some say in the storyline too. Kamix has some voting mechanisms he's setting up for letting the holders of the mob kind of have a little influence in how the comic goes, which is pretty cool.
So the community is a really important aspect of any NFT project. And like you were saying, the community is engaging and actually voting on certain aspects of it at the moment. So how else are you actually engaging with the community and building it up to drive the project?
Well, one thing that Kamix does every Sunday, he does live drawings in our Discord, which if you've never seen one, I mean, they're almost therapeutic. It's wild watching him draw. It's so cool because, I mean, he pretty much takes stuff on demand out of chatting people. It's a real cool, just a couple hours where we get to really hang out on a more personal level with the community, talking in the voice Discord, chat Discord, stuff like that while watching them work. We've got that. We've got, I do a trivia night where we did one about 3 weeks ago now, and that went really well. We're going to make those kind of a monthly thing and kind of bounce them between some other projects, making it a whole community thing, not necessarily an EtherMobs thing. You know, we want all communities to be able to come together and hang out and kind of push the Twitter aside for an hour and have some fun together. So we do a lot of that. We do, I'm always in the Twitter spaces. I don't know if you're real familiar with those, but those are a pretty awesome way to really engage and connect and kind of on the fly. I don't want to call it an AMA. They're more like hangouts. I mean, they're always ask us anything you want to know and stuff like that, but it's more, you know, when you talk anything. So it's just a cool way to kind of get on a personal level with people in the community, you know, not just necessarily topics can range from anything.
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving the Twitter Spaces at the moment. We're probably switched on at different time zones. So I'm usually dropped in on the Lonely Stoners Club and Epoch's End.
I've seen those a couple of times whenever I'm up. They're pretty late in my time zone, but every now and then I'm playing there and can't sleep.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I thought. And I have seen some of the drawings put up on Twitter afterwards, Kamix, from your live drawing sessions, the ones from like One Piece and whatnot. So I saw them pop up and was like, hey, that's really cool.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah, those are the ones he's drawing on Sundays. Does those live drawings.
And I noticed you're also doing some little collaborations with some other projects that I really like as well, such as Cheeky Units, another Australian crypto NFT project.
Yeah, and then we do have the two collabs, the Cheeky Unts coming up. That's first week of December, I believe. Kamix, is that right? It'll go. Yeah, it'll be all airdrops. It's not meant anything. Airdrops for people holding an UNTNA and a EtherMob. So that'll be fun. Kamix has done some amazing pieces. They were really cool. And they put together some really cool pieces as well for that. And then I know everyone's seen our Yummies teaser that we put out a month or 2 months ago now. Those are just some things that we could incorporate through the comic in different ways. You know, with the comic and being an Adamantia, we can. It's really cool how we kind of bring the Cardano blockchain to life. You know, I mean, you can take a steak pool that's on Cardano, and it could be the steak restaurant in town. You know, and incorporate ways in different ways, kind of give them that real world kind of conception in it. It's pretty neat how some of the ideas he has and some of the things we've kicked around it. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, that kind of idea is a nice way of incorporating more in other parts of the community and leveraging off something else that's already existing. Especially the stake pools have like really strong followings, like the amount of marketing they have to do and whatnot to drive stake to and delegation to a pool is huge. So yeah, partnering up with stake pools and everything else in the community is definitely something you'll be wanting to do.
And everyone's been super awesome. I mean, people have been coming like, hey, we'd love to be in the comic. We want to be, you know, everyone wants to be a part of it. It's what's so cool about Cardano. You know, you don't have that in some other blockchains, but like Cardano, it's like everyone just wants to be like in everything together. You know, I mean, everyone's supporting each other, in with each other, hanging, you know, it's been really cool. It's been a lot of fun.
So in terms of the mint process, you started the mint, when was it? About 2 months ago now? A month ago?
About closely a month and a half, we started the minting.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a very smooth minting process. When I was going through and minting my NFTs through it, it was a very slick, it's very well designed and it looks very nice. I'm assuming you put some bot protection and some flood protection through there as well, so you wouldn't have any of these issues that some of the other projects were having. Can you elaborate and talk a little bit about that? I know you mentioned that one of your other team's members put this all together, but I was wondering if you can explain how you put this one together. Yeah,
well, it was basically just our concern was just remove the bots and the whalers. So in order to remove the bots, you just basically had to add the verification, I think it's a Google verification, the verifying it's not a bot, the captcha. Yeah, it's the reCAPTCHA. I think that's how it's spelled. That's how it's called. Well, and in order to remove the whalers, you just had to make it a little bit harder for people to create an account. So for minting pages that has only limits per wallet, we all know that wallets aren't that hard to create. You can create maybe a wallet in 2 minutes and you can create, that means that in a span of 1/4 of an hour, you can create a huge amount of wallets. So if a project's limits per wallet, that's for me at least, it's not a way of limiting whalers, because there can be a person who who can create as much as he wants of wallets, or already have that amount of wallets, and he can visit the page on the minting day and buy X amounts of NFTs, or mint X amount of NFTs, then switch the wallets, then mint again, and the process will keep on, and that might override the blockchain or and break the websites. So what we did is to limit by a Discord account. So if if a wallet is that easy to create, we all know that Discord accounts is not.
Yeah, I did like the Discord verification, and I thought that was a real key thing. I know other projects also went down the Discord path, and one even went for minting in Discord itself with the Discord bot. So it really does take out some of the whales that might come in and do the just buy up all the NFTs all in one go and then take them off the market from anyone else. So the Discord bot thing I thought was a brilliant idea. And then of course the basic Google reCAPTCHA to take out the bots as well. So they're all very, very good and good ways of doing it. I'm wondering also if it might have a negative effect on the process as well, because not everyone has a Discord account, and to go through the process and they go to mint and they go, oh, Discord, don't I have to sign up to another one? And then that puts them off. Because for me personally, I only signed up to Discord this year because of these NFT projects. It finally drew me over to sign up for a Discord account because of the projects that were coming out. So I thought, all right, fine. If everyone's on Discord, I'll set up a Discord account. Otherwise, I wouldn't have set one up.
Yeah, I was the same way. I wasn't a huge Discord guy either. And then I guess it kind of depends on how deep. If you want to get deep into NFTs, you almost have to have Twitter and Discord in the toolbox. But yeah, I mean, and yeah, I mean, there's people that don't have the Discord. I think it's, I mean, you hear it all the time. We're so early in the space. There's not a ton of, everyone's kind of trying to figure it out, I think, right now, kind of seeing what works, what doesn't, what parts of different methods work and what parts don't. And at some point, hopefully, there's a little better toolbox out there maybe for some people to use, or as some of these projects come out, some new ideas and innovations come out there. There's definitely a lot of good and bad with each way, and it's kind of tough sometimes to figure out, which way to go. Do you really kind of limit the whales and the bots and do this Discord verification that we know will work well, or do we risk it and do another way? And it both have their pros and cons. I'm with you. I have a Discord now. I thought the minting process was super smooth. Like that, but yeah, it is kind of a catch-22. So, some people don't have a Discord. It's one of those things. I hope as the space develops, we come out with some better. And if you think about it, just in the last 6 months or so, 7 months since NFTs have hit the Cardano market, where we've come from the Google Doc days to how projects are minting now, it's been light years ahead in progress. And I think in another 7 months, it's going to be even light years ahead in innovation ideas. Some of the people in the space, things they come up with and how to do things, it helps the community as a whole. And that's kind of what we do with this Discord thing. If anyone wants to know how we did it or how to set it up for their project, they can always reach out, shoot us a message, and we're happy to help. Hopefully they can take it and innovate it, make it even better, or find a new way that we can use next time that works better like that. And a lot of this space is a lot of guess and check and try and fail. And, there hasn't been a huge history of it done up until this point. And I think kind of all the projects out right now are kind of the pioneers paving the way and figuring out what works and what doesn't for the people ahead. Very
much so. It's it's a very interesting space, and like you said, it literally did start with Google Docs. I remember jumping in on one project and having to fill in a Google Docs form. I was like, this is.
If you did that now, people would be like, "Red flags, scams, stay a million miles away."
And you have to remember that we're doing this all without smart contracts, so. People do forget that sometimes. There's absolutely no smart contracts with a lot of these NFTs, and I'm only just seeing some marketplaces actually give you the ability to mint the NFTs with smart contracts. So we're only seeing that now.
Yeah. Someone said the other day, and it was a good point, like, we're not supposed to have NFTs yet. We kind of jailbroke the system and kind of doing things before it was ready to be done, which is awesome. I mean, I think NFTs have really pushed Cardano as a whole. You know, we're the driving force pushing behind them, like, hey, speed it up, speed it up, speed it up. And they're, you know, it's a motivator and a driver. And it's cool how we can kind of, through NFTs, see what's, I don't want to say breaking the system, but what's, you know, needs improvement and what doesn't through these.
Yeah, we definitely are breaking it. I remember a story I heard, I think it might have been on a Twitter Spaces, that one of the lead developers that left Emergo that was working on Yoroi, they weren't allowed to work on anything NFT related. For Yoroi. So they weren't allowed to add any of those features in because they believed it was just a fad, and it wasn't time yet for Cardano to actually have NFTs because they were concentrating purely on the dApps and the DeFi sector of Cardano. That was the main focus, and that's where a huge amount of the value is going to be. But of course, NFTs hit first.
I think we've heard. I was just saying, I think we've heard since 2018, NFTs are just a fad and going away any day, and they just keep growing and growing and growing.
And I'm glad this project is here as well. So I've just got a couple of more questions about the project. Now, how on earth did you draw, it's a 10,000 character series. You didn't sit there and draw 10,000 characters, did you?
No one can. Well, right now I'm working on an airdrop. Well, I will basically be drawing 1,000 characters.
That's still huge.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like a way to thank the community for supporting us through through everything. The community was really great, and I really love it. So I'm kind of like down for doing it, even if some people think it's impossible, but I think it's not. I will do it, and I'll be the first. Maybe I'll be the first one who that creates 1,000 drawing as NFTs and airdrop them on his community. Well, how I did for the EtherMobs, I basically hand drawn 200 assets, if I can remember. Well, the assets, which means the shapes of the mobs and the clothes and the accessories, the haircuts, hairstyles, and basically everything. Then I added all of this. I included all of this into the R generator scripts. Then it started generating these NFTs, these unique NFTs. It was, to be honest, it's not the hardest part of it. It's just to sync everything and to not hide. So sometimes you can see maybe the shirts can hide the pants in some parts, or maybe the pants can be looking off in some NFTs. But I basically just measured all of that, so it won't so no errors or no overlapped with the others, so there won't be looking off or something like that. That was the hardest part, but the drawing part for me was fairly easy, to be honest. It was just how to figure out a way to display all of the accessories and not some being hidden by the others.
The hardest bit was just the overlap of and covering assets. Wow. Okay. I seriously thought that it was a lot more difficult than that, and you would have spent a lot more time trying to draw the assets and getting all these pieces together. So I think that's really cool as well, because as you generate all these characters from the assets, you would have had some very unique characters generated that you wouldn't have come up with or thought of. Is that right?
That really surprised me. Like there was a comment that looked really good, to be honest, and I thought it's a shame that it's a comment. I really liked it on myself.
Yeah, I always look at the drawing thing. The drawing's the hardest part too. I mean, when you watch him on those Sundays, like when he does the live drawings in Discord, it's almost like makes you angry because it looks so easy. I'm like, why can't I do this? Like he does it so easy and fluently. Like, why does mine look like a broken stick figure? It's wild. I mean, just absolutely wild watching it.
And that's really cool. I'd love to join like a live drawing class where you teach people how to like draw some of these characters as well. That'd be absolutely amazing. Through your thought process, how do you like?
There's actually that in our roadmap. In our white paper with the EtherMobs Academy.
I did not see that. How cool is that?
Yeah,
Ask
it's
and
going to
you
be
shall receive.
Putting out some free for drawing classes for any age really, but it could be from young kids all the way up, and some drawing styles, and maybe incorporate some other projects, some of their art styles that they want to add, contribute some videos to the deal. Some other projects can show their art styles and how to create it at home and stuff like that.
This all inspires me to get back into some sort of art and drawing, but my medium of choice was actually lino carving. So I'd have like a hard lino, and then I'll do like a textured carvings from that, and then use screen printing to print that out. So that was my medium of choice. It's a little bit harder to convert to an NFT.
That's cool though.
Yeah. I absolutely loved it. So, if you see me post on Twitter that I've started lino carving and started to transform to NFTs, you guys are the reason why. Not that I have the time, but we'll see what happens. So just to round off this interview, what has been the hardest challenge to get through to where you are right now?
Yeah, well, the hardest part, to be honest, as we all know, Cardano is a pretty hard platform when it comes to creating dApps and technical parts like the dApps, for example, and that there's also the fact that there are no tutorials on YouTube and stuff there. Basically, if you want to do anything, you have to learn Plutus or work with what you have, like NFT Maker and Token, and that's why it's hard to work with. So at the first the project basically stopped when I completed creating the NFTs and everything was set up. I didn't find a way to work with even NFT Maker because they didn't have the option of uploading multiple NFTs. Was only by, what is it called, the API option, and I wasn't able to use it because I didn't have that much of a dev background in order to use it. So I asked my friend, the Dig Down, to come and join me in order to do it. That's basically what was the hardest parts, but I think that won't be an issue afterwards because my dev is at the moment is learning Plutus, and that might open up a lot of options for our projects in the future.
Well, hopefully that means we might see like a online store on your website as well, or additional future minting of other NFTs and other drops that you might have, and that will just smooth out the process, I think, for you guys by quite a bit.
Yeah, sure. my personal struggle has been getting the white paper. It's hard because there's so many projects out there for people. I mean, I'm a huge investor and collector, everything else too. And I'm the same way. You know, I see a project, I may not even know 90% of what's going on or the future with it. It's just a really cool art piece I like. But yeah, trying to get our message out in white paper in the, 30-second water cooler talks. And that's been trying to find the right way to get, to kind of let people know the full detail which project's about. And also, a lot of people still think we're an Ethereum project. So that's been a little tough. A lot of people I still talk to like, oh, you're an Ethereum project, right? And I'm like, no, we're Cardano. We're Cardano. I mean, it's been a lot of fun because I've been able to meet a lot of people. We've been able to onboard a ton of people from Ethereum. If you go on our Discord, it was there for a while teaching people how to set up, Cardano wallets and how to mint on Cardano and the CNFT tools and pool and teach them all that kind of stuff. So that's been a really rewarding part for me personally, because onboarding artists, people, stuff like that's kind of my passion with Cardano. So that part's been really cool doing that. But yeah, we still get every now and then we get people like from Ethereum asking where we're at on OpenSea, or people from Cardano saying, oh, you're an Ethereum project, and I'm like, no, we're Cardano. But
interesting challenges that you have, definitely interesting challenges, but really cool to see that Ethereum people are open to moving over to Cardano and setting up wallets and minting what they need to mint. So that's pretty cool to hear.
Yeah, it's been cool. That's been probably the most rewarding part for me, besides just the entire community we have. It's pretty awesome group. We got a real awesome group. It's a lot of fun.
So I wish you all the best. I really hope this your minting process goes really well, and you gather a lot more fans for this project as well. It's really well deserved, and I will definitely jump in on one of these live drawing sessions. I did not know it was happening.
Awesome.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah, we'll look forward to having you in there.
Thank you so much, Kamix and Blu, for joining me on the episode. It was a pleasure learning more about how the project came about, and I'm glad you guys are in the Cardano ecosystem as well. If you love this style of artwork, please check it out. Have a look in the show notes down below there for the links. Join their Discord channel and join in on one of the live drawing sessions that Kamix does. It's an absolute pleasure to follow along and actually see his artwork gets created. Now, they do a lot of collaborations in the ecosystem as well, so a lot of other projects. Here is a little something. There we go. And you can check out some of the other collabs that they do. So if you own multiple different tokens, multiple different CNFT projects, they release a couple of these free projects out there, and it's really cool. I absolutely love the art. That's it for me for this video. If you do love this type of content, please make sure you give me that thumbs up, click subscribe, click the notification bell, and hear more great Cardano related content from me soon.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debating.